Ever wondered if your cat is planning to take over the world because it gives you the evil eye every morning? Well, let's dive into that. It's a funny thought, isn't it? But let's use this chuckle-worthy scenario to discuss something a little more serious. Abuse. Abuse in any form isn't a laughing matter. It's a grave issue that affects countless lives. But seeing as we've already entered the realm of the absurd, let's continue with our feline friend. Imagine, if you will, a world where your cat is the boss, ruling with an iron paw. Sounds ridiculous, right? But strip away the whiskers and fur, and we're left with a form of psychological abuse. Just as your cat's evil eye might make you feel a little uneasy, the subtle signs of psychological abuse can often go unnoticed. It's not always about physical harm. Mental and emotional manipulation can be just as damaging. Intimidation, threats, they're all part of the mix. So, what can we take away from this feline fable? Well, the key is to recognize the signs. If the evil eye starts to feel more like a calculated stare, it might be time to reassess the situation. Remember, if your cat starts to gather an army of mice, it might be time to intervene. After all, we can't have our feline friends plotting a coup d'etat now, can we? You know how in pillow fights, feathers fly and everyone laughs? Well, physical abuse is not a pillow fight, my friends. Imagine a pillow fight where the room is filled with laughter, pillows are flying, and everyone's having a good time. Now imagine if that pillow fight turns into a boxing match. Not so fun anymore, right? Physical abuse is like that unwanted boxing match. It's when someone uses their physical strength or power to harm or intimidate another person on purpose. Unlike a pillow fight where the worst you'll get is a mouthful of feathers, physical abuse leaves scars that are far from funny. Let's look at some signs. Unexplained bruises, cuts, or burns often raise red flags. But it's not just about the visible signs. Notice if someone frequently misses school or work without a good reason, or if they seem overly anxious around certain individuals. These could be indicators of physical abuse. Remember, physical abuse isn't always about the big, obvious injuries. It can also be about the small, repetitive harm that gradually wears a person down over time, like a relentless water drip on a stone. So take note, be observant. If you see feathers flying, join the fun. But if you see fists flying, it's time to step in or seek help. So next time you're in a pillow fight, remember to play nice. No one likes a feather in their eye. We all love a good tearjerker movie, right? But what if your life started to feel like a never-ending sad film? Let's imagine this. You're the hero or heroine in one of those emotional dramas where the protagonist is constantly belittled, made to feel worthless, or isolated from their loved ones. That's a distressingly accurate portrayal of emotional abuse. It's like being trapped in a perpetual tearjerker, except there's no director yelling "cut" at the end of the day. Remember how the protagonist starts doubting their worth, questioning their every move? That's a classic sign of emotional abuse. Low self-esteem isn't just a plot device, it's a real-life consequence of being constantly undermined and criticized. And what about the part where our hero or heroine pulls away from their loved ones, the people they care about the most? That's not just for dramatic suspense. In reality, this withdrawal is another sign of emotional abuse, a result of the victim being systematically isolated from their support network. Then there's the excessive fear or anxiety, the apprehension that's more gripping than any thriller. That's not just excellent acting. It's a genuine reaction to emotional abuse, a constant state of stress and worry that's far from the excitement of a movie plot. If your life starts feeling like a sad movie on repeat, it might be time to switch the channel. Life isn't a movie, and you deserve a happy ending, not a constant reel of tears and fears. Ever felt like your wallet has a hole in it and your money just keeps disappearing? Well, you might be in a magic show or experiencing financial abuse. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a top hat or a deck of cards, and you're right, you're not. But financial abuse can make your cash vanish quicker than you can say abracadabra. Let's set the stage. Imagine you're a magician's assistant, and instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, it's your hard-earned money that's being plucked out. You're left wondering where it all went. That's financial abuse, folks. It's not all smoke and mirrors. It can show up in different ways, like when you suddenly don't have access to your own money, or when your financial situation changes without any big purchases or expenses. It's like you've been sawed in half, but instead of your legs, it's your bank account that's on the other side of the stage. And then there's the mystery of unexplained debts. It's like being handcuffed and dropped into a tank of water. You didn't ask for it, you don't want it, but there you are, drowning in debt you don't understand. So what's the trick to spotting this kind of illusion? Well, it's about being aware, understanding your own finances, and not being afraid to ask questions. Remember, if your money starts disappearing faster than a magician's rabbit, you might want to check who's pulling the strings. So we've had some laughs, But let's not forget, abuse is no joking matter. We've been on quite a journey together, from pillow fights that are more than just feathers flying, to tearjerker moments that would put Hollywood to shame. We've also delved into the mystery of the ever-lightening wallet, a magic trick that isn't as fun as it sounds. Yes, we've had our chuckles, but behind each jest lies a serious truth. Abuse, whether physical, emotional, or financial, is something we should all be aware of and vigilant against. It's as clear as the nose on your face when your feline friend starts behaving like a tiny tyrant, or when your life feels like a sad movie that's stuck on repeat. So just remember, if your cat starts acting like a mini dictator, or your life feels like a sad movie on repeat, it's time to take action. And always keep an eye on that disappearing money, because nobody likes a magic trick gone wrong.